Hey folks, Nitno here. Today we got a sneak peek look at the new DayZ 1.23 patch. The devs did a live stream on Twitch and I sat there with my trusty notepad keeping tabs. Here's a quick recap of the notable changes I got from watching. While watching the video, think about any comments you might want to leave. I love reading everyone's thoughts on the new patch. We're getting some new sounds, notably rags ripping.
Because as we all know, the Z in DayZ stands.
And they hinted at a possible new fireplace crafting sound. We're getting some vehicle fixes. The most notable is being able to push a car that is stuck. This is huge. Hopefully the days are gone where you have to build fireplaces under the wheel to move your car if it gets stuck. Now you can just use a prompt to push the car and it will go back a couple feet. That has me wondering if you could do some funny things with it. Maybe you'll be able to push cars off cliffs, and maybe you'll even be able to nudge cars into unsuspecting players. We'll see. There is also better car handling. And it sounded like the M3S is going to be better now going uphill. There are a couple new items that got hinted. The field shovel is back, and along with a new digging animation. There is some new face gear. This one, it looks like it's called the OKZK. In the tooltip, it says it protects against hazardous conditions. We'll see what that means. It could just be some protection against airborne illnesses. We'll see. There is also another blue hat as well. We got a hint at a new weapon. They said you could hear it in the distance when they were at the Northwest Airfield. I couldn't really make it out.
Okay. Oh.
In the chat on Twitch, there was a bunch of speculation, but no one really had a concrete idea on what weapon it would be. There is now a new skybox. This is huge to me. One of the best things about DayZ is the immersion. And with this new skybox, it just takes it to the next level. This basically confirms that some of the DayZ wallpapers they've been showing is using the new skybox. But the devs did say that they photoshopped the colors a little bit just to make the wallpapers a little bit more appealing if you were to use them on your desktop. They did also mention that there will be some lighting changes as well. At the end, we did see a Livonia sample as well. Livonia will have a slightly different sky than Chernarus, mostly because Livonia takes place in the summer, whereas technically Chernarus takes place in the autumn. The devs hinted at some loot economy changes, things like rebalancing where weapons spawned, possibly making it easier to get some of the highest tier weapons, but also maybe putting this newest weapon somewhere really secret, maybe under the Northwest Airfield. That's just a speculation, we'll see. There are some interesting changes to the castle tower's interior. This was done to make it safer to travel up and down. It's always been very precarious using the steps in the towers. It's so easy to fall off. This will make it a little bit less likely. There are some new holes in the floor to give you different angles to peek. This kind of rebalances some of the dynamics within the towers. Typically in the past, the person on top had so much advantage when holding angles. The player on top with the high ground still probably is going to have the advantage, but it's going to even out the balance a little more, and there's going to be a little bit more tricks that players can do when they're approaching going up. There are some new player spawn changes that they specifically said they're just testing right now, but it might be implemented this patch. It's going to sound like a small change, but this one has huge possibilities. They're testing out a new system where players spawn in closer proximity for a limited time. This is a little bit tricky to explain, I'll try to do my best, but from what I got from it, instead of players spawning all up and down the coast as usual, there will now be a limited time when players will spawn in similar areas, then X amount of minutes later, that spawn zone will change to another spot along the coast. So basically, let's say you and your friend want to play together. If you go ahead and start a fresh life, and then count down 3, 2, 1, click respawn, then you should respawn in close proximity to each other, maybe a few miles or kilometers away, but within a short running distance. This was done in a desire to bring fresh spawns closer together for more interaction and more likely to meet strangers. I did see some comments in chat that this may unintentionally nerf players' ability to quickly respawn and try to get a better spawn closer to where their base is or their preferred route they want to take. For instance, let's say the bubble of player spawns over in Berezino, but they want to go to Electro. they're going to have trouble respawning over and over because it's going to keep putting them back in Berezino, potentially. We'll see if there's a number of different bubbles or if it's just one bubble. I think the devs will be testing this. But with all that said, basically at the end of the day, what I think is going to happen is it's going to bring a lot more interaction on the spawn zones. You're going to be able to get more friends. There might be some crazy stuff going on. It's going to make DayZ feel like less of a ghost town when you spawn in. And it also might inspire people to take spawns they don't usually take. So we'll see how this goes. Could be interesting. We also, of course, got a sneak peek at the new Northwest Airfield layout. We got a view of the plane monument. We'll see if there's anything else behind it. It seemed like it was just a monument, but yeah, we'll see. We also got a look at the new wrecked trucks and the plane positioning on the airfield. There's no drivable version of the new truck that we could see yet, just the wrecks. There's some console specific changes. Console private servers will now be able to easily customize spawn loadouts. So admins on console will have a little bit more customization. Also on console, when you load up the server browser, you'll be able to see the time of day of the server right there in the server browser. Also, the server browser for both PC and console now should show the queue numbers, so that way you'll be able to make the choice. Oh, I see 50 people are in queue. I don't feel like waiting that long. Or you might be able to say, oh, there's only 3 people in queue. Let's just wait it out and then we'll hop in. And then of course, we did get a confirmation that Experimental will be coming to PC and Xbox on October 5th. And that's pretty much it what we saw from the dev stream. But as usual, I'll be doing one of my usual videos going over all the new changes on the 1.23 patch once it hits Experimental. So if you found this video helpful, I appreciate you hitting that sub button, like button, and leaving a comment. I want to see what you guys think of this patch. I do stream on Twitch, so make sure to follow me there as well. Thank you, and have an awesome day. Peace.